Right guys, going through the first exercise. It's a slightly unorthodox type of press up I like to do. So if you see me coming down and pressing off, I'm using the outer part of my hand to come down and then pressing inward from the closer part of my hand. So you can see here, this is the exact part where I come down for the eccentric portion of that exercise. So as I come up, I press inward and press out from the medial side of my hand. So what this exercise does is me pressing out from that inner side of my hand. It creates that extra range of motion right at that last portion of the movement. So I'm able to get a fuller contraction of the press up. So going into our working sets, we're going to do 3 sets. First set, 8 reps, then 10 reps and 12 reps. We're going to increase the volume as we go up with the sets. So you can see here, it's a very subtle difference to your conventional style of doing a press up. You can see at the end, you can't really see me pressing out from the inner side of my palm, but me doing that is actually making all the difference. You can't really see it in the video, but that's what I'm trying to concentrate on. Going on to the second set, you can actually see a bit more of a difference. It's a bit more clear as to how I want you guys to approach this exercise. So you see me, I start from the outer part of my palm coming down, but as I press out, my pinky comes up. That's allowing me to press from the inner side of my palm. I'm only raising my pinky finger so you can actually see the exact movement I'm trying to mimic here. But as long as there's pressure from the medial side of the palm, there's no real need to actually raise that pinky finger. Guys, in terms of rest in between each exercise, I want to keep the rest period very minimal. So I'm talking around 30 seconds. 40-50 seconds is okay, but a minimal rest for in between each exercise. The second exercise we're going to go on to, we're going to use a wall to assist the movement. So what I'm doing here is pressing inward all the way, so I'm getting a full stretch on that pec muscle. But as I press out, I'm bringing my head towards my shoulder. That way I'm getting a fuller contraction of that pec muscle. As I come down, I'm trying to concentrate, at least keeping a 2-second hold, and then pressing out and squeezing at that end range. Now as far as working sets go, we're going to do the same again. 3 sets, 8, 10, 12. Increase the volume as we increase the sets. So the exercise itself, using a wall to assist the movement, can be quite easy for some of you guys. If that's the case, then you can use a table on the ground, a bench on the ground, and using that lower decline does increase the resistance and does increase the intensity of that movement. So the third exercise we're going to go into is an assisted handstand press up. So it's working that upper part of the pec and also the anterior side of that deltoid. The idea is to again come down, at least a 1-second pause, and then press out and squeeze into the upper portion of that pec. Now the fourth exercise is going to actually require you to use something you can push upwards with. So here I'm using a 10 kilo weight plate. You guys can use anything you want, anything around the house with a bit of resistance. So the idea is pressing upwards from that bottom position, engaging the lower pec, coming up to the mid pec, and then ultimately hitting that end range and contracting at the upper portion of that pec muscle. Well, the next exercise is again going to require two objects this time. So here I'm using two weight plates from a dumbbell. Again, use anything you can find, anything that's going to glide through the floor for the exercise. You can see I'm doing here. So whatever surface you have at home, carpet, whatever, make sure you find something that's going to be smooth, gliding through that surface. So the idea of this exercise is to take the two objects outward and bring your body weight forward into the movement. And as you come up, you're going to squeeze your hands together, and that's going to create that contraction into the mid range, the upper and the lower range of that pec muscle. In terms of sets and reps, again, 3 sets, 8, 10, 12. Increase volume as you increase the set. The final exercise, I'm going to incorporate a superset, so that's going to be 2 exercises back to back. But the first exercise, we're going to start on our knees. We're going to press from the upper range of that press up position, then the mid range, so our hands in the middle, and then we're going to bring our hands back and rotate them backwards, and then press from the lower range of that press up. So you can see me demonstrating here. My hand comes up, it works the upper range of that chest, and then from the middle, the mid range of the chest, and then my hand inward, and from the bottom position, the lower part of that chest muscle. So the idea is to work those 3 areas of that pec muscle and get in a full contraction at the end of the movement. So I mentioned that with this exercise, we're going to incorporate a superset. So after your first set of this movement with 8 reps, we're going to go straight on to a normal press up. So not the first type of press up, just your normal press up. We're going to go for 12 reps. So that's straight after the first exercise for this superset. In terms of sets and reps, the first set I mentioned, 8 reps with this movement, and then 12 reps with your normal press up straight after. Your second set is going to be 10 reps of this movement, the first movement, and then 12 reps again with your normal press up straight after. And then the third set, 12 reps of the first movement, and then 12 reps again for that second movement. Now, that being the last exercise, of course, you know, that's the end of the workout. It was a short workout, trying to make it as practical as possible for a home workout. So if you like the video, comment, share, subscribe. I'm out.